Today, I'll share with you 4 hidden gems that I am buying in 2023 to receive a lot of passive income from the dividends of those companies. I'll share with you my 4 favorite Canadian dividend stocks for 2023 that gives me some great diversification in my overall portfolio, while also giving me some great potential of growth. But to pick the different companies within this list, I've used many different criteria. First, to maximize the diversification of your portfolio, I made sure to pick different companies that are in different sectors of the economy. And to maximize your overall return on the long term, I check out all the different business models of those companies to make sure that they are sustainable on the long term. Starting with my first pick, which is the company Enbridge with the ticker ENB.TO. This company is currently amongst the 15 largest oil and gas companies in the entire world, and it's actually the number 1 in Canada with a market capitalization of slightly over $100 billion. By acting in the oil and the gas sectors, Enbridge obviously own and manage different pipelines all around Canada and the US, transporting crude oil, natural gas, and natural gas liquids. In fact, Enbridge currently transport over 30% of the total production of crude oil in North America. They transport about 20% of the total natural gas consumed in the United States, and they operate North America's 3rd largest natural gas utility by consumer count. So as you can see, this company is currently a giant in the energy transportation field in North America. But I know what some of you might be thinking at the moment. Hey, but Louis, don't you think that Enbridge business model relying on oil production and transportation isn't really sustainable on the long term? Well, this is a great question, especially with the global energy transition that has already started. But in fact, Enbridge has already started this transition years ago. With their objective of net zero gas emission by 2050, they have already invested over $8 billion of capital in green renewable energy infrastructure, which help them to produce enough green energy to meet the requirements of electricity for over 967,000 different homes. And for the investors, despite having a super high payout ratio, Enbridge has been paying through time some super high dividend income payments to their different shareholders. In fact, with a current annual dividend yield of over 6% at the moment, they've been able to increase their dividends for over 27 years in a row, with an average dividend growth per year of about 10% over the last 5 years. And for the revenue, the picture is quite similar, with an average growth over the last 5 years of about 6%. And despite having quite a lot of debt compared to its cash position, this company currently has a pretty good price to earning ratio of about 20, which is showing that this stock is currently fairly valued and maybe even undervalued. So if you're looking for a great company that is often considered as one of the best hedge against the inflation, well, Enbridge could be a perfect fit for you, but so do my other picks on my list. And now for the second stock on my list, it is the Toronto Dominion Bank with the ticker TD.TO. What is more important and crucial than banks for economy? Just imagine what would happen and what actually happened in the past when banks were going to bankruptcy. However, the big advantage of the Canadian banks is that there are actually only about 5 big banks over here. So obviously they have a lot more stability. And the Toronto Dominion Bank is among those lucky banks. As being in the top 15s of the world's largest bank, TD is currently the 2nd largest bank in Canada, just behind RBC, with a market capitalization of over $150 billion. It offers a lot of different products and services to its different 27 million customers all around Canada, the US, Europe, and Asia, with its 3 main branches, which are the Canadian retail, the US retail, and the wholesale banking. From bank accounts, credit cards, insurance, mortgages, and personal finance, you will find a lot of different products and services from TD, all of which have helped TD to generate slightly over $45 billion of revenue in 2022, and the recent acquisition of First Horizon will greatly help them to improve their position in the south of the border. And on your side, by holding this kind of bank, this could give you some great stability in your portfolio by giving you also some great dividend income from it. Indeed, on its side, TD Bank is giving a great annual dividend yield of over 4% to their shareholders, and this dividend has been growing faster compared to the average industry over the last 8 years in a row. All of this while keeping keeping a super low payout ratio of only about 40%. Plus, at the moment, this stock is trading at a super low price to earning ratio of about 10, which is showing that this stock is currently undervalued. So if you're looking for a great Canadian bank that has over 40% of exposure of its revenue from the US market, well, TD could be a pretty good option for you. Now, for my third pick on my list, I've gone with the Canadian National Railway with the ticker CNR.TO. This is another kind of businesses that will be massively needed over the next couple of years, because as long as we will need to transport goods and people from one place to another, well, there will still be a massive need for transportation and railway itself. And this company is in a pretty good position at the moment while being the second largest railway in the entire world and the first one here in Canada with a valuation of over $100 billion. The beauty of the thing is that here in Canada, this particular sector is in a duopoly where you only have two main railway companies. Obviously, you have the Canadian National Railway, but you also have the Canadian Pacific Railway. Over the 20,000 miles railway of the CN, it notably connects the three main coasts of North America, which are the Pacific, the Atlantic, and the Gulf of Mexico. Their main job is to transport raw materials, intermediate goods, and finished goods to over 13,000 different locations. And over the last couple of decades, to expand their operations, notably to the US, they have made many different acquisitions, but the CN isn't only a simple railway company. In fact, it also offers different trucking services with over 1,050 different truckers, and they also have marine shipping that could help different regions that doesn't have easy access to them, for example Newfoundland and Labrador and also the Great Lakes. But what is really interesting for the investors is that by investing in that company, you can expect to earn about 2% of dividend per year. And this dividend has been on a massive streak of over 27 years in a row of dividend increase, with an average dividend increase of about 12% over the last 5 years. And with a payout ratio of only about 40%, you can expect them to be able to continue to increase their dividend over the next couple of years. In terms of their revenue growth over the same period, they've been able to increase them on average of about 6%, and at the moment they are trading with a pretty fair price to earning ratio of about 21, which is showing that this stock is quite fairly valued at the moment. And for my last pick, I've went with a company that has been significantly increasing their dividends over the past couple of years and that could continue to do the same over the next couple of decades. And it's the business Alimentation Couche-Tard with the ticker ATD.TO. Couche-Tard, as well as its subsidiary Circle K, is well known around Canada as being one of the top convenience stores in the country, and they are offering a wide variety of products to the people on the go. Plus, at the moment, it is currently the world's second largest convenience store companies by number of stores, and under their three main brands, which are Couche-Tard, Circle K, and Ingo, they currently have over 14,000 stores around the world with over 122,000 employees. As being a great convenience store, they are making obviously the biggest part of their money throughout their different sale of convenience products such as hot and cold foods as well as different beverage, but they also offer different mobility services including fuel for road transport and charging solutions for electric vehicles. Before becoming a worldwide leader in its field, this company created in 1980 in Quebec was actually only a small shop. But over time, they've been able to expand massively their operations to now worth over $50 billion of valuation. And this was well represented by their average growth in their revenue over the last 5 years that was about 10%. And over the same period, this has obviously led to a massive increase in their dividend growth of over 20% on average per year. On your part, by buying this company, you could expect to receive an annual dividend of about 1%. That, however, has a super low dividend payout ratio of only about 12% at the moment. This low dividend compared to the other companies on my list can be explained by the fact that this company is trying to make some massive acquisitions over the past couple of years. For example, in 2021, they tried to buy the European giant supermarket companies Carrefour. Unfortunately, the French government has blocked the transaction, but it is a company that has seen some massive growth in their valuation over the past couple of years. However, with the average 20% of growth in their dividend over the last 5 years, we can obviously expect them to continue to increase the dividends over the next couple of years. And once again, this is a company that is quite essential to our economy, notably for mobility, because as long as we will have different cars and electric electric cars, we will keep having a need to charge them. And just like in Bridge, they have already started their transition towards the green renewable energy by adding, for example, many different electric vehicles chargers in their different locations all around the world. But now on your side, you might be wondering, hey, but Louis, what are your favorite Canadian ETFs for the new year? Well, in that case, check out the video that's gonna be right over here, and I will see you soon. Peace!